Hello, everyone. You're very welcome to a very special breaking news episode on the Man United agenda. It may be cold outside, but we've got the tonic to warm you right up. Yes, indeed. It is Take Me Home, Man United. But we might be coming home to some new owners. That is the exciting breaking news today. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of this, on Monday, thank you very much for joining me here on this special extra episode of the Man United Agenda today. We'll obviously be back later on with the Crystal Palace preview. But how are you feeling today, buddy?
Yeah, feeling really good. Look, breaking news, isn't it? And we're always ready with that back phone calls. We slide down our poll and we get in position to deliver the news straight away as soon as it comes out. So delighted to be here with you, Rebel, especially with you, Rebel, because you are the black belt when it comes to these sort of yes, pow, pow, and I'm sure we're going to break it down and have a look at what's said and try to sort of see what it really means for Manchester United Football Club.
Absolutely. Before we do have something important to take care of.
Yeah, as you know, guys, we're sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. They assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services, such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. Check out the link in the description, guys. That's Global Mapping Surveys.
Yes, indeed. And we are very grateful to Global Mapping Service for their sponsorship of the channel. Now, I'm looking at Monday's co-anchor, and I know they're very, very excited by this news because it has been a long time coming. And it looks like there's now a front runner to take the deeds and keys of Old Trafford away from the Glazer family. So let's have a quick look at the story here Monday. If you don't mind, I have another bit of reading for you to do.
So Enos have entered the bidding process to buy Manchester United Football Club. So Jim Radcliffe, one of Britain's richest men, has confirmed that he is officially in the running to buy the club from the Glazers. Parties have to register their interest with the Merchants Bank running the sale for the Glazer family. Bids are expected from the United States, the Middle East, and Asia, but Ratcliffe is the first to publicly confirm his interest. We have formally put ourselves in the process, a spokesman for the petrochemical billionaire confirmed on Tuesday, which is today. At this stage, the parties have to sign up to a confidential financial documents and commit to undertaking due diligence before a possible takeover. Formal bids are expected to start next month, with the club potentially changing hands by the end of the season. The Glazers would first have to be happy with the offer, with speculation that they hope for more than £5 billion. That is, it remains to be seen how high the bidding will go. Chelsea was sold to Todd Boehly and the rest of his ownership group last year for half that amount. It was in November that the Glazers family announced that it was commencing a process to explore strategic alternatives for United, potentially bringing an end to the 18-year of controversial ownership. The number of options, including new investment into the club, a sale, or other transactions involving the company, were to be considered. While understood to be considering offers from minority stakes, a full sale is thought to be most likely, with the Glazers hoping that the club's resurgence under Ten Hag will drive the price up over the coming months. United are fourth in the Premier League table, only a point behind Man City in second, and looking strong for a place in Champions League. Ratcliffe made a bid for Chelsea last year, but left it too late to register formal interest. He has been weighing up whether to bid for United, his boyhood club, and met Joel and Avram Glazer last year, though the club was not officially for sale at that point. Since November, other parties already made contact with Joe Ravik, or co-founder and partner of Rain, who is leading the process. The confirmation of Ratcliffe's engagement with Rain may lead other groups to go public. Qatar, Saudi Arabia have made clear their sporting ambitions. Those state-backed interest is complicated by involvement at Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle United, respectively. Avram Glazer flew to the World Cup in Doha last year and is understood to have held a number of informal meetings with the potential investor of Emirates. Have made clear their sporting intentions with moves into cycling, rugby, union, sailing, sport, Formula One, and football. A Ratcliffe bid would spark questions about the future of Nice, also owned by Ineos, though the group is believed to have considered different ownership models. Clubs under one owner would not be allowed to enter the same European competition.
Yes, indeed. So that is the big breaking story. And before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, I do want to say hello to Stumpy Candletop. I absolutely love that name. He's saying thanks for going live. Andy Long is, if I play my cards right, the missus might slide down. Oh, no, let's move on. We got caught there. Pete says, good show, guys. Thanks very much. Our
Sorry,
sponsor.
hold on. Can I just say big up to Pete, good friend of mine. Love you, bro. Thanks for tuning in.
Lovely stuff. And there's our sponsor, Global Mapping Service, who we mentioned at the top of the show. Thanks for joining us. Football Power Hour, Todd, who he's saying. Andy saying, could having Lewis Hamilton in the consortium sway the FA with their diversity goal among owners? Big ups as Football Power Hour. Solo saying, 17 in the chat, but there's 34 in the chat. Please do give us a like, share, and subscribe. Zoe Media House, how are we doing? And finally, Solo's again looking for like, shares, and subscribes. Thanks very much. And Daniel Ramirez, first public announcement. Here we go. It's great news indeed. So on Monday, let's just get into the nuts and bolts of the significance of this public announcement. Obviously, there has been speculation for quite some time that Manchester United is on the docket and available for sale. But we have had nothing concrete thus far. But now, Sir Jim Radcliffe, who was thought to have been interested in a personal capacity, is getting involved with the financial weight of his company. And of course, we cannot ignore that there is Arab interest in Manchester United as well. And they are significant financial powerhouses circling the wagons. So if you're Malcolm or Joel Glazer at this point, you're probably thinking, I'm going to be making a nice bit of money out of this sale. But how significant is the news today in your eyes on Monday?
We're all Man United supporters, okay? And we love the club. And one thing that's unanimous is this issue with the Glazers, who have been in charge for a very long time. I think it's 2005 they came in. But they haven't been running the ship too well. So we do need new landlords. And this is refreshing news, considering there was a question mark about how long will it take for the Glazers to go? Will they dig their heels in? Will they leave? I mean, we go back a little bit of history here. Going back, we had the riot, didn't we, with the Liverpool game? And that was a major statement. The game got shut down, showed a bit of people power, fan power. We like that. And there's been groups, there's been discussions all the way. And I think working on the Man United agenda with all these passionate fans, you get a feel for what how we feel about the issues with the ownership. And it's kind of stinking out the place. So this is really great news to hear how quickly things are going along. It's only in November, like we said, that they announced that they could be up for sale. And already now, it's mid-January, there was also a statement saying by the first quarter, financial quarter, which would be 3 months, is it? Yeah, 4, 8, 12, 6. Yeah, 3 months. Actually, I'm doing my maths there. Quick maths, guys. 3 months, by the first quarter, it could be sold, or major news would be announced. So to hear this today is really great stuff. You always hear stuff in the grapevine for sure, but to have a public announcement like this is meaningful. And I know it's just the first step. We're taking baby steps. It usually take a long process, but this is really nice for fans to hear. And it is breaking news, and it is worthy of a story to put it out there. I'm not really qualified, like I say. I'm not really, when it comes to these sort of things, I'm not overly qualified, but I have been, because it's been such major news, and I have been looking into it. But I think I'm glad to be on the show with Rebel and with Zoe Media House and with Emma and a few of you guys in the comments as well, because you guys know a lot more than me about the process. So big up to you guys, and let's hear it.
Absolutely no. Zoe is saying that Jim's personal net worth of 12 billion wouldn't be enough, and that we'd be in a borrowing situation. Now, interestingly, the revenue made by Enos, which is the company that Jim Radcliffe has, is $61 billion. So obviously, the company is worth significantly more than Radcliffe, who is the key owner. So that will be interesting to see how that would play out. Solo saying 47 wonderful people in the chat and only 14 likes. Please do give us a like, share, and subscribe, because we do try to bring you the breaking news. Edward French, Dubai interest would bring major money, more than Sir Jim. Would you be happy with investment from Dubai? Me personally, it wouldn't bother me. And also, good evening, guys. And to the 51 people that are now in the chat, the interesting thing is we have seen the effect of Arabian investment in football clubs. We're seeing how Newcastle are going about their business. We're seeing the structures that they brought to the club, and they are not breaking the bank in doing it. They're doing very key targeted investments. Manchester City, we've learned the lessons of how they have structured over the years. They made errors in the early days with the money that they spent, but since the era of Pep Guardiola, the the place has been settled down. They got in somebody that can run a football club, and they are making key targeted investments. So I suppose for us, the question would be who will actually win the bidding war, because it looks like that's what the Glazers have now. They have a bidding war looking for Manchester United, and it's going to be whoever pays most. FTSN Bobby, thanks very much for joining us. He is, of course, a big part of the Full Time Sports Network, our sister channel. Anyone saying Sir James' personal wealth isn't enough, it would make him the third richest in the league. So that is quite interesting. And Bobby, do you know how much actually the companies work? Because we know what the revenue they're generating, but you might just come back to us on that if you have any information. Football Power Hour, would you guys rather a swift sale to Jim or a bidding war with possibly Twitter, Apple, or Qatari and other Arabian groups? Manukin says,
How you
please,
doing? Welcome to the channel.
we can't move the stadium. Our stadium has too much history and memories. The stadium has to stay in Old Trafford. Stretford End is the Stretford End. That is going to be one of the key crossing roads once.
Can I just add to that about the stadium? Obviously, we've talked about this before about moving the stadium. It is iconic. I saw a picture the other day from 1988, the picture of the stadium, and I looked at it and I thought, wow, that's how I remember it. It's such an iconic stadium. It's just where it's situated. It is just right. I don't think we should move stadium. I think we should just refurbish it, just like we did in the early 90s with the start of the Premiership. A lot of clubs took down, boarded down everything, took down one side, and built it internally, while we were doing that. And I think that's the way to go forward. I think a lot of fans have a lot of feeling towards that stadium. We have so many memories there. Just fix it up. Bit of a refurbishment. I'm going through refurbishment at my home right now, and I'm having to live through it. I'm as dusty, everything, but we can get through it. The long goal is the most important thing. And just going back to there's a question asked about the Arab owners and Ratcliffe. What we've discussed this many times now, but I do think after what we've been through with the Glazers for so long, I do think we need to sort of ask questions about people's intention. And I know we can see good examples of with Newcastle and Man City, what they've been doing, but I want someone who's going to be invested in the club. And when you hear that Jim Radcliffe is a support of the club and he's British as well, I think he got more understanding and more insight into what it really means to be a Man United fan and the club.
Absolutely. Now, on the front of the stadium, I had read a document that said building a new stadium, state of the art from scratch, would be about 2 billion. Refurbishment is about 1 billion. Emma Kay says, I don't think the owner's personal wealth really matters, because once the club has changed hands, the supporters will start buying shirts and merchandise again. It's all about our debt. So obviously clearing the books will be much of a help. Ronak said, I'd be happy with Enos. They have an experience in sport. Edward French, would the potential new owners be willing to pay off the club's debts as well? And imagine that's what they'd be looking to do, is to come in with a clean footing and absolutely start from ground zero. Gaming wants Mbappe to be bought by Sir Jim or the new owners.
You see, this is what's good about the fan base. There's so many ideas. What? There's lose? All right, I want Mbappe. Let's go shopping. It's like Christmas or Boxing Day. One of these sales. Let's go shopping and let's invest. We want a new stadium. We want new kits. We want new sponsors. We want new players as well. It's all for go. I mean, it's all go out here.
Enos is worth 17 billion according to Bobby. Wow. So it looks like their earning potential obviously isn't reflected in their value. Twitter to buy Man United. I don't think Elon's buying anymore, I'll be honest with you. Zoe, Jim Radcliffe isn't even amongst the top 100 richest in the world. Forget being third richest in the league. Mancunian again says, whoever takes on Manchester United, I would like Sir Jim Radcliffe to be part of that ownership. J. Billy Josh, you move the stadium, you kill our history, and we love it this much. That is absolutely true. Solo, I'm going to update the figure. There's 69 in the chat.
It's a bit
Please
more,
hit
isn't it?
subscribe
Higher than the
and like
40,
button.
higher than 40. Let's go to 60. Hey, guys, if you're watching right now, press the like button for us on the Man United agenda. We're the Man United community, and it's all great stuff for us. If you can just press the like button for us while we do this news flash.
Ronik also confirming what I had been saying there, that it would be a £1 billion redevelopment contract that would be needed to be invested in Old Trafford to retain it in its current position. Sir Jim all the way says UK strains. He's happy with the news. Zoe Media House. Besides, do we really want a hardcore Brexiteer like Jim Radcliffe as our owner? So that's politics. I'm going to stay away from that one. Liverpool managed to do it with Anfield. Barca done it with the new camp. So basically, it is possible, they're saying. Ronik again says, I want the club to be Enos own and then partially listed on the stock exchange. This will pay for the stadium, just like the North Stand was paid for in 95-96. Now, the only thing I will say with listing on the stock exchange is the Glazers originally got their footing through purchases of publicly traded shares. So if in doing so they do release some of the stakeholding, you are inviting someone to get their foot back in the door. So maybe wouldn't be such a good idea, at least in the short term. Emma Kay, is it Sir Jim or the company Enos that have put in the bid? As Sir Jim is a bit of an old guy, and I don't want to be in the same situation again when dad dies and the kids don't care but take over. At the moment, it is Enos that is mentioned, and we have a staggering 92 people currently in the chat, so please do keep the comments.
It was Blackburn, wasn't it? Jack Walker, he was an old boy, took over, and it was him who bought the club. I think it's the company in regards to Jim, rather than Jim himself taking over. And a few more here. Ronan, just by the way, guys, everyone news jumping in. Thanks, appreciate your comments, guys. Keep them coming in. We'll see what we can do.
Ronek again saying, we won't move stadium. It might be turn 90 degrees if we cannot build over it, over the railway. Danilo, welcome Danilo. I agree, we should keep our history in Old Trafford.
That's Delano, by the way. I know that name because my cousin's Delano as well. Big up Delano, welcome. And big up to Rashford, 102 over.
Yeah, he's saying he sees a proposal from Real Madrid for Garnacho. We won't be touching on that in this show, but keep an eye on the next show. We might have an opportunity to speak about it. Liam Taylor, we see you. You're obviously preaching the gospel of the Armory TV, so you're also very welcome. But to summarize, the big breaking news today is that the first public bid has been made known to the Manchester United supporters base, and that is Sir Jim Radcliffe's company Enos is confirmed in the bidding, and it has been publicly confirmed by Sir Jim and is across all media at the moment.
Let me read this one from Mr. B, because it's about you, Rebel. He says, keep up the good work, guys. Rebel banging out the knowledge. Yeah, as you know, the Man United agenda, we've all got skill base. We're all good at certain things, but one thing for sure, Rebel, when it comes to finance and business, Rebel is the man, the go-to man. So big up Rebel for jumping on board.
Thank you, Mr. B. And of course, if you haven't watched the Friday Night Takeaway yet, Mr. B put out an absolutely cracking show last Friday where he got under the skin of top six rivals and really grilled them. So make sure you order your broccoli pizza, put the feet up, and tune in to Mr. B on Friday night.
You know what, Rebel? I mean, look, we're only 2 weeks into the new year. They said by the end of the month, which is only in 2 weeks, there'll be major developments. So there's a lot more to come, guys. Make sure you tune in to the Man United agenda. But there's just a few things that we've had, like some good news this year. We've had news of the victory we had against Man City. We haven't lost this annual year. We're on the up. We've got players like Casemiro representing, Rashford on top form as well. Team playing really well. Good record, as in not losing, only one in 16 or something like that. And now there's news about the takeover. Everything you wanted. So our bellies are full with joy and as a fan base. And I'm just absolutely delighted. There's nothing to really sigh about at the moment. And coming into the weekend, obviously, as you mentioned, Friday Night Takeaway, we had Spurs fan, Arsenal fan, and Liverpool fan on, and they were all doubting us still, saying, "Oh, we're not in it." You know, Man United, there's still question marks about us. but we keep moving forward, and we're a very powerful club. The fan base is massive. I never realised how big it is. We're international here on the Man United Agenda. We have people from all over the world tuning in and commenting as well. So what a fantastic club, and hopefully it'll get even better with this great news that we're hearing right now.
Absolutely. As I said, those of you that are joining late, it has been confirmed that the first bidder has been identified, and that is Sir Jim Radcliffe via his company Enos. That is in across all media at this point. I just want to say as well, thank you to Bart, the Liverpool fan, for joining us. He's saying they don't want Harry Potter owning our club. Lee Stewart, Jim Radcliffe, good track record with a high level in sport, and he's a football fan. Liam Taylor says, trust me, defeat coming your way on Sunday. We will see how the ball rolls on the day. But first, we do need to deal with Crystal Palace. Zoe Media House have Nice won anything since Jim took over? A very interesting question.
They've got a lot of good new players. Ross Barkley especially as well. He's playing well for them.
Bart say, I wish United fans own 50% of the club. Do I still live on Craggy Island?
We will kill you guys on Sunday. Part 2 of our killing spree. We've already dealt with you at Old Trafford, and we dealt with Man City as well. And Man City are like your parent club, the way they play their football. So we're ready for Arsenal. We're ready for Crystal Palace tomorrow. By the way, we're doing a preview game at 8:30 tonight for the Crystal Palace Man U game. So check us out, guys. We've got a Crystal Palace fan on, and we'll be asking him if he's brave enough and how they feel about taking us on. What a time! What a time to be a Man United fan.
Absolutely. And just as we wind down, because we are going to be coming back at 8:30, and we do need to do our homework to question the Crystal Palace fans. So please do join us at 8:30 for that preview show for tomorrow's game. There were just over 100 of you in the chat. Please do let us know what your thoughts on this breaking news is in the comments after the show, and we will definitely be getting back to you there. I also want to congratulate Andy Tate, who made his debut in the host chair yesterday. An absolutely cracking job keeping the likes of OMONDI and Solo Mr. B under wraps and in control throughout the entire show.
And he's back every Monday, isn't he? Andy Tate's going to be here every Monday at 8:30, especially straight after the weekend. And you get the real feel, the real passion from Andy Tate about things going on at Man United. And after the Man City derby, he said he was actually crying in the stands. So, yeah, if you want to hear all the real emotion from Andy, join us on Mondays at 8:30.
Absolutely. And as I said, we're back at 8:30 for the Crystal Palace preview show. There will be a watch along as well tomorrow during the Crystal Palace game. And I think it's myself, yourself, and of course, Mr. B on Monday for the watch along. And then Pat will be going through the runners and riders on the review show right after the game ends, roughly about 15 minutes after. And then Thursday, I think we will be catching up on possibly more news with the takeover and any other transfer business that does come across our way. And then Friday, keep an eye out because we may have some special guests. I'm not going to spoil it, but just keep an eye out because there are some big names in the hat for potentially appearing with us on Friday. And then, as we know, the Friday night takeaway is going to take you into the weekend before we come hunting some gooners on Sunday. But on Monday, for us, I think we do need to bid everybody adieu. To the wonderful people that were in chat, thank you very much for your comments throughout. Please do continue to give us your comments on this excellent breaking news about Sir Jim being the first publicly identified bidder on Manchester United. After over 2 decades of ownership, it looks like the Glazer family will not be on the deeds of Manchester United Football Club for the start of next season. That is the breaking news. Thank you, and we'll talk to you again later on.